Hey everybody, I'm Jake. I'm Rodney.
Look at these ones. I feel like we've done weirder things in our life. Are you buckled, bud, or do you need help buckling?
Yes, Rosie.
Here we go, chickens. Welcome to your crazy life.
So what did we just do?
We bought chickens.
How are you feeling about that after leaving the store?
I mean, reality is setting in that we now have 4 chickens. On the exciting side, we get to build a chicken coop. I'm going to build them a castle. A chicken coop castle. Alright, we've got 4 chickens. We've got 2 Rhode Island Reds and 2 something else. We'll make sure to put it in the comments, I guess. But we did go ahead and decide to get the kit because it just had everything in one spot. And so it's got the heat lamp, a watering, and a feeding tray. So it's kind of got everything we need to start. And of course we've got bedding and some food for them to get started. Now we just have to find them a little container where they can do a little nursery.
What'd you build?
Built them a nursery box. What do you call this?
Brooding box.
Brooding box. Ready?
Nope.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
Come join the band.
How many are in the Dixie Chicks?
3.
Are the chicks? Well, that won't work.
Hey guys, I'm Rodney,
And I'm Jake.
and today we're going to show you how we built our chicken coop.
So when we first got our chickens, we started with a kit that we ordered online, built the coop, and then as they got bigger, we realized that it wasn't going to work for them as well as for us because we wanted to be able to get in the coop with them to be able to interact. So we've decided to build our own custom coop.
So, as you guys know, originally we're going to build ourselves a chicken coop, and then we decided to get a kit online. And now, having had chickens, because we did 0 research before getting our chickens, we realized that the coop we got online is just not going to work for us. It's really low to the ground. It's more work than it's honestly worth. So we're back to the idea of building our own coop, one that we can actually fit in, walk in, and clean out a lot easier. In the hunt of getting lumber's really expensive. So we actually found someone selling some 4x6 by 8 foot beams online. Got them at a really good price, and now what we're gonna do is rip them down to basically create our own 2x4s. And this pile of wood, we're gonna get about 110 2x4s out of, and it is quite literally the third of the cost of buying 2x4s new. So if you've got the capability of kind of milling or making your own wood, it's definitely a cost-effective way to go. So today we're gonna take these and run them through the table saw 6 million times to get our 2x4s.
So with a lot of chicken coops being built these days, there's something that we didn't really like. We saw with a lot of designs, the nesting box sort of juts out in the back, as well as there's no storage for the general chicken supplies, and they're in a storage little shed off to the side. With this design, we wanted to integrate everything together, so this first part is basically one big closet slash nesting box combo.
get there eventually. I don't know. It's gonna look like it's further anyways, right?
Yeah, it kind of feels heavy on this side.
Push your lower. Yeah. There you go.
So now that we have the first part of the chicken coop built, we are starting the leveling process to make sure that our foundations are level all the way across. Got a little bit of a grade change here. You hear us talk about that a lot. This side's a good few inches higher than this. So we're digging down this side, pulling the dirt this way, and building up this side. We do want to keep a little bit of a grade to it, but for the most part, we want to try to get it as even as possible. Part of the reason we dug down is so that when we put the foundational 2x4s, if you will, into the ground, they'll be underneath the ground a little bit, so when we attach the hardware cloth, it'll be underneath the soil, making it hidden, first of all, and a little bit easier to keep the animals out. Of that 2x4.
Yeah, it'll be like this back corner, right? Huh?
Got it.
Yeah, there's marks. They're not very straight.
Oh yeah, they are. Pretty good. Yeah. So let's go grab. Can you go grab another 2x6 and just lay it on the pottery there? Already 6 of them.
6 what?
69.5. This is now going to be the floor of the coop. So we are gonna, that's the roof pitch. And then this wall is gonna be framed. These two walls are gonna be framed like a standard wall would be framed. But this wall is what's gonna be the transition into the chicken run. So we're actually gonna turn these boards up on edge. And the reason for that is so that we can keep the floor space a lot cleaner without any ledges for things like bird doo-doo to get stuck on. So it's gonna be a lot easier to clean. And we also have some peel and stick vinyl flooring that we will also eventually put on top of this subfloor. So yeah, that's the goal. Make it easier to clean.
Are you building a playhouse?
Very much. So when we originally created the design for the coop, one of the original intentions was to have this door that we could access into the run further in the corner here. And the reason for that was to give us more space, and their ramp on the inside went down to that side. And so we thought aligning that on that side was really going to be the best solution. But ultimately, once we started framing the wall, which we can see us looping through here, we decided that being a little bit more center, the door being a little bit more center was actually the best way to go, not only for access inside the run, but for how the remainder of this area in our garden beds all lay out. We decided to center the door for a little bit easier access.
Anyways, the weather's been
New day.
super erratic the last few days. We've gone from 80s down to the 40s to the 70s and then back down to the 30s. It's been nuts. But what are we doing today?
All in 24 hours. We finish framing out the walls for the run, and then hopefully start the plywood on the coop and storage roof portion, and then start framing the doors to get in.
Cool. Let's do it.
Work?
Work.
Is it hurting? Dirt. That's probably one of the best doors we've built, huh? Well, I mean, that's a good thing that means we're learning shit. Favorite, my left pocket's got all the wrappers in it.
What am I supposed to do? Put them in my pocket?
Go. I don't think the bottom's locked unless you just relocked it.
I think we should probably do one up here too. Are you okay? Is it gonna fit?
Yeah, but everything online for the dimensions of this said it was 12 inches. That's why I set this 2x4 where I did. So we're gonna need another.
I mean, do we have to?
Well, the screws have to go to something.
Those plywood's not thick enough?
Well, the screws will be sticking into the plywood, and so they're gonna catch their little feathers. you go. Try this. Get in there. Try that. She's like, no, I still don't know what you're doing. Get in there. It's good for you, sweetie. You want to get in? Oh my God. Good girls. Yeah. You guys kind of forget where things live. I just assume we're taking this in.
Sure. Very retro. Retro futuristic.
Like it should be up or should it be stacked?
Or did you want to do more like a platform? Well, no, like them together. We were talking about needing a platform somewhere.
I mean, we could do that. Oh, you're saying just put these at the same height?
Right.
Sure. And chickens are kind of dumb, so I'm hoping that they know to jump from the ramp over here. This is high.
They'll get up there.
So maybe it is worth having a platform on this side since it's quite the fall over here.
So we've been painting, kind of getting the rest of the details done today. Got more touch-ups to do, but Rodney just finished. Did you finish in here?
I think so.
Finished in here.
Orange.
Orange! Kind of got a Nickelodeon feel.
It does all of that. Halloween with the brown and orange.
Yeah. And I've been painting all of this stuff. Whew. Getting so close. Hopefully the chickens will move in tomorrow. Rodney is determined tomorrow. My hands.
All right, so today we are working on our feeder and we're doing two things. One, we're gonna make a feeder that goes to the inside of the coop. And then we're also gonna make a feeder that goes down and under, so there's one available in the run, which is gonna be their main feeder, really. But we don't like the idea of the chickens not having access to food overnight for some reason. We're an open pantry household. So
Well, I think mostly because we got chickens in the winter. We are very focused on like winter chicken shit. And they say it's good for chickens to have access to food to help keep them warm. Because their metabolism heats them.
yeah, I think it's just because we're an open pantry household. So if they're hungry, we want them to have food. But the way we're going to do this is we're going to kind of have a two-story situation here where the floor of the coop is inside here and underneath the coop is the run. So to keep everything contained within the closet itself, which has been a main goal of ours, so that everything is kind of protected and sealed, and then from the outside it's all nice and clean line, we're going to use some PVC. So we've used a 45-degree angle for the feeder with a 90-degree elbow that we see here. And then this one's going to be about 18 inches tall, and then we're going to use another 45 and a cap so that we can keep it nice and sealed will be on the top, and then the one from the bottom will run just next to this going straight down. Sometimes these pucks just like come straight out, and then other times they really make you work for it. I love that it just makes this cute little perfect circle. The way I'm cutting through the wood is a 4-inch hole saw bit but the drainage pipe that we're using, because we didn't use full PVC on this or Schedule 40 because it was so much more expensive. This is ADS technically, but this is like 4 1/8 or something, or 4 1/4, and the hole saw is only 4 inch. So I have to use the jigsaw to finish making the larger hole. Alright, now we need a 6 inch. Make sure everything lines up well. Getting this thing in is going to be... Oh. Ooh. Might need to trim this up a little more stuff. Yeah. Can you hold that real quick?
I do worry that there's something about this that's like not food safe or something. We're gonna get comments about not using that food. There's a reason! Should we cut that down a little bit?
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Was this in when we just marked it?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know how far in it was in, but it was in.
Okay. Here we go. I could even be off to the side a little bit so they're easier.
Yeah.
We're gonna just have to for sure have like a scoop.
Right.
Alright. So that's the idea. So for everybody at home, let's take all this apart. At the top, we have a twist-on cap, a 4-inch piece of the pipe, to a slip 45, and that's what's giving us the entry point to fill our tube with the food. And then underneath, for both of these, that pipe goes to a 90-degree slip, and in this case we cut a 6-inch piece to go to the part underneath the coop to extend through the wall, and then we've got another 45 slip where the chickens can access the food. Now, a lot of people say it's worth putting a cap and cutting that in half so that they don't make as much of a mess, I guess. But that's the kind of the general idea. So we might have to add a cap. We did talk about that. But that's the general idea. So 45 slip, small section of pipe to connect these two together, 90 degree to our feed tube, which then comes to another 45, a short piece of pipe here as well for the cap. Food falls down by gravity, and hopefully everything works perfect. Alright guys, so today we are starting on our automated watering for our chickens, and it's going to be a really simple setup for now. We do plan to upgrade rainwater and all that in the future, but for right now we're going to start really simple. First things first, we're going to start with a 5-gallon bucket. Obviously ours are from our awesome people over at Lowe's, and you want to stand here to elevate it. Now it could work on just your shelf, you could build a secondary shelf, but I'm down to using scrap wood, so there are better ways to build this little base here and get it attached, but for now we're going to keep it really simple. So our 5-gallon bucket from Lowe's, and then we're also using Rent-A-Coop's little feeding cups, watering cups, excuse me. But I want to give a huge shout out to Rent a Coop because, not because this is a sponsored video, but because they actually think about things and then make them very innovative, thinking forward, and a huge fan of that. So they make a shut-off valve kit, which is great for just about anything that holds water. It comes with the size bit you need, and this is what's going to go directly into the bucket to give us our water supply and then also give us a cutoff. So the fact that they've thought about this and know it's a need and actually did it is super awesome. And then we did hop over to Amazon to get these little half-inch PVC parts with these little nipples that fit Rent a Coop's watering cups really well. So you can see there they just kind of twist on, and really snug fit, honestly. So I'll make sure there's a link to all of this in the description for this video, but let's go ahead and get started. So just like our feeding system, we have a 2-tier deal. We're going to do the same with our water. Inside the coop overnight, because it's in Texas and I always worry about the chickens getting hot, I think we're going to do at least 2 of the cups inside the coop for overnight water, and then we're going to do the 4 cups underneath. So the idea here is that we'll go from our loads bucket to our Rent a Coop valve kit here, and it's going to come out the base, which is going to be a little bit different than normal. Most of the time we're going to see these come out the side, but we're going to come out the base, and then I'm going to tee off, I guess I should say. I'm going to tee off, and one side's going to go into the coop for those watering cups, and then I'm going to come underneath the shelf across the wall underneath the coop to get our 4 cups down below. Let's get started. I don't think that could have been any easier. Honestly, kind of shocking how easy it is. So inside the coop, we're gonna have our 2 feeders. So I just used the Rent a Coop water cups attached to these fittings that we found on Amazon. Again, we'll include all the links. And then this guy is gonna come back and connect to the T underneath our bucket. So I'm gonna go put this inside. Nothing's glued up yet. I'm gonna wait until get everything dry fit. But I'm gonna go put this inside and see what kind of depth I need to cut. I know. You girls are just so nosy. Is that too tall? Come over, stand next to this. Is that too tall? I feel like that's too tall. I think it is. No, you're gonna be able to drink from that. Thank you for being my model. Alright. So I was originally worried about it being too tall in there, but it actually looks like it's gonna be fine. So, now I just need to know the depth to get to the center of the bucket. Our T fitting slides right into the slip and cutoff from Rent a Coop. So we're just gonna kind of line things up and get them marked where we would want them to be in an ideal world. And you can always make things shorter, so I'm cutting this just a little bit long, just to be sure. Alright, so let's take a look. So 5-gallon bucket on a stand for a little bit of elevation. We've got our T, because this is going to continue down to go under the shelf into the bottom coop as well, just like our lower feeder goes through the shelf. And then it's teeing off into the coop for overnight watering. So let's go check out what these girls are doing. They're already playing with it. But this is what it's gonna be on the inside. Excuse me, ladies. Don't mind me. I just work here. So then that'll give them 2 cups for an overnight, as well as their upstairs or their coop feeder here on this side. How sweet, baby. I know. What do you think? They want me to stop bothering them. But that gives us an idea of our 2 waterers upstairs, and then we're gonna bring 4 downstairs. So we wanna come out from our tee straight down to go through the shelf. And because I've got the 2x4 thickness, I'm gonna put my elbow underneath here before we elbow over, go down, and then go down along the base of the underside of the coop. Ooh. All right. Now that I've got that out, we'll have an elbow. Oh, let's get our tee. And I'm just marking this pipe where I want it to line up on the bottom, where it would intersect with the tee. And again, because we're dry fitting, I'm gonna cut everything a little bit long. It's better to have too much than not enough. Because we want to basically go from this point and get us along these 2x4s that are also underneath the coop along that exterior wall. Alright guys, so for some reason we lost audio here. I'm thinking maybe our mic died, but this is kind of the finished product here. We've got the 1/2-inch PVC that runs through and then elbows over and down, and then that goes to the under portion of the coop. And this is me just kind of coaxing the chickens since they were still new at this point in this space. They were a little bit skittish, to be honest. But once everybody was comfortable, I was able to crawl underneath here. And so you can see the PVC in the back left corner there of the run. And basically all we did here is I was going to put 4 of the Rent-A-Coop's water cups in this space. And so what I've done is used about a 10 to 12 inch piece of the 1/2-inch PVC. So I put on the coupling there, and then a 10 or 12 inch piece of PVC, and then the next coupling, and so on. And then at the very end, we are going to put on a cap for now, just to kind of test everything again. Right now we're just dry fitting, so nothing's getting glued or primed. We're just making sure everything fits and runs smoothly, and that these water cups will actually fill up with the right amount of pressure. But we'll see here in just a second the cap. And later what we did is we went ahead and changed that to a valve. Since this is the lowest point of all the waterers, the valve will allow us to kind of fully drain the line for when we need to do deep cleans and things of that nature. But yeah, right now we're just kind of dry fitting. Everything seemed to fit, and then we used some little PVC clamps and screwed those into those 2x4s that you can see there. Spacing wise, we just, based it on what we felt worked for the space, and then the 2x4s were just able to screw right into those. And then we did a large rectangular window here across the front. Aesthetics, we just put in the additional clay imports breeze blocks that we had. And then of course across the top, because you don't want that hot air stuck between your rafters, we've got 3 holes per each here. And those guys are allowing that hot air to vent out in the hottest months of the year.
Oh, I caught it. I caught her doing it. First time. Look at you. Good job. Good night.
You can play. You wanna? Charlie just wanted to know what this one was. I don't know why you guys are so excited about it. Alright guys, so that's it for our DIY chicken coop build a chicken a house video. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified the next time we post a video.
Also, be sure to check out our website where we have blogs, tutorials, and merch, as well as find us on other social media sites. We are at Rodney and Jake at Instagram and TikTok.
And as always, guys, we want to give a huge shout out to all of our members. If you're not already a member and you're interested in joining to help support the channel, be sure to click the link in the description below. Our members get things like behind the scenes videos and some early access to some of our videos.
That's all for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.